Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Off the Dome Sports Podcast, your favorite sports podcast, where two sports lovers, sometimes more, give their hot takes
off the dome.
If you're watching us right now on the Radio House Studios Facebook, YouTube, Twitch accounts, we really appreciate you. If not, means you're probably tuning in on newrockradio.us. Thank you for listening in to newrockradio.us, streaming your favorite rock music 24/7. You can always catch the best rock music on newrockradio.us. You can also catch our own Facebook and YouTube channels at Off the Dome Sports Podcast. We also have a Twitter account at _Dome Pod. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Brignac Mortgage, where Sean Brignac, President and CEO, can assist in all your lending needs for residential, investment, and commercial properties. Check out Sean on YouTube at Sean Brignac, and check out www.brignacmortgage.com. Thank you again to Brignac Mortgage for supporting the Off the Dome Sports Podcast and New Rock Radio. If you're looking to be a sponsor of the Off the Dome Sports Podcast, just shoot us an email at studio@newrockradio.us or hit us up through the Facebook page. We have a special guest on right now. If you checked out our special Saturday session, you heard him on there. Hall of Famer, All-Pro, Pro Bowl returner for the New Orleans Saints, Michael Lewis. Michael, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. How are we doing today, Michael?
I'm good. Good. And yourselves?
Doing well. Glad to have you back on.
Doing excellent.
Appreciate it.
All right. So, we're just going to ask you some questions about this past weekend, what we saw in New Orleans. I'm going to start us off. We're going to have two questions each. Hope that's all right for you. So, I'm going to start us off. So, just kind of give us a rundown. What did you see on Sunday, and why did we end up on the wrong side of the win column on this one?
Man, I saw a lot of fighting and stuff. I mean, we was doing well in the beginning or whatever, but towards the end, I think a lot of pressure was put on the defense. It seemed like the offense kind of got into a little standstill where they couldn't move the ball down enough to score touchdowns. Instead of scoring touchdowns, kicking field goals. You come up short that way. So when you get close, you guys to start putting the ball in the end zone instead of kicking field goals. And I think that's the point that hurted us. And once we got behind at the end of the game and they scored on us, I think the our 2-minute game plan just didn't work, and we came up short in the game.
Yeah, definitely. The offense looked rolling in the first half, second half, not so much. And I think one thing that kind of points to that is Taysom Hill. I think in that Seahawks game a couple weeks ago, we saw a lot of Taysom Hill. He was basically our whole entire offense, and he looked fantastic. However, in this game, I feel like we didn't see quite as much. What do you think about that Taysom Hill dynamic, and do you think we should see some more of him in the future?
Yeah, I think we should see more of him. I mean, the role, we just got to understand that, those roles have to change week by week. They don't go in because he did well this week, and then you put in the same game plan. The other team game plan for a lot of stuff, because when he got in there, they pretty much knew exactly what our plan was. Most of the time, we're trying to fake the handoff and run the ball with him, and it was there stopping those plays. So, I mean, that's where the change comes in at. I think we got to use him a little bit more in the passing game if we're going to use him, instead of just running him, because they know we do more running with him than passing. So I think that can change up some things as well.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm going to pass it on over to our buddy Lot. He's got a couple questions for you, too.
Yeah.
No problem.
Just to touch on the previous question, I think it is kind of peculiar how the Saints, every single time, at least prior to this past week, all they do is run the ball with Taysom. They haven't given him the opportunity to pass or even catch passes. So it seems like it's kind of a dead giveaway.
Yeah, and that's just how the game plan is. I mean, because he does it so much, and I think we got to get out of that. And I think instead of him passing the ball or him running the ball, I think sometimes he just got to go ahead on and just hand it off to the running back and let him do his thing.
Yeah. So, even though the offense kind of looked shaky in the second half of this past game, I think it's fair to say that the offense has kind of outperformed the defense throughout these past 2 weeks. So I was wondering how you think that the defense can get back on track against what I would consider a shaky Arizona offense.
Well, I mean, it goes both ways because in the beginning of the I would say the beginning of the season, it was the other way around. The defense
Definitely.
was holding up the offense. The offense couldn't get nothing going. Now it's the other way around. But then you got to look at it from both ways. Okay, the defense, you got to look at, just like on the offense, injury plays a part that's hurting us right now. Lattimore wasn't in the game. Lattimore would have went man-to-man with Chase. So now you're looking at their number one receiver, not with our number one defensive player. So that plays a part in that as well. Then on the offensive side, you got to look at it. Our top 3 wide receivers was out of the game. And for us to do what we did with our backups, I don't think that was bad neither.
Yeah, I think the injuries have been a big part. And speaking of injuries, obviously Jameis has gone down. He went down a few weeks ago, and Andy Dalton has kind of replaced him at this point. So I was wondering what you have liked and what you have disliked about Andy Dalton so far, and if Jameis is healthy down the line, do you think that the Saints should go back to him?
Well, first of all, yes, I think they should go back to him when he's healthy, because you shouldn't lose your spot because of injuries. And I mean, if Dalton was doing a great job, you know what I'm saying, and we winning, then you can have something to argue about, you know what I'm saying? But that's just like saying going back when Drew was here, when we had, what's the quarterback?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater. And Teddy won 5 games in a row, and then when Drew got off his injury, he came back. So, I mean, that's just the way things roll when it comes down to those things. So you got to look at it that way. You know, what I mean, I think Andy Dalton is a good quarterback. I mean, he still got something in him. Now, the only thing that I didn't like pretty much is that, his balls. I mean, and it comes with timing. I mean, he hadn't been out there with those guys like in the beginning because he wasn't the starting quarterback as much. So he's normally with the backups guys and not with the starting guys or whatever, because a lot of his balls, if you look at it, a lot of his balls are kind of behind the guys and not in front or on them like that. So, when you're looking at the crossing routes and some of the passes he throw, most of the time the guys got to almost turn around and catch some of the balls. So that's the only thing that I don't, that I dislike about, with him as far as the passing thing goes.
Yeah, nice. So this is Byron, the long-haired freak that was to your right when you were here. Moving on from the Saints, remember you had mentioned last time we had you on that you coached many players throughout the league, such as Tyreek Hill, who had a great game Sunday.
Yeah.
12 catches for 177 yards.
Yes.
How did some of the other players that you had coached fare this week?
It was crazy. One of my other guys that I work with was playing for the Cincinnati Bengals. Another Michael Thomas, number 80, he played for the Bengals as well. So he was over there. It was good to see him. I didn't want to see him on that end of the win column, but, it was, just watching guys. I don't care if they win or lose, though, but just watching the guys that I actually work with going into the NFL and see that they're still there and they're still performing out there. You know what I'm saying? I feel good about that, regardless if it's a win or a loss. I'm always proud of those young men, because at the end of the day, every year you're fighting for that job, and to see them still there, makes me feel good.
Yeah, it's got to be a great feeling. You've played with some great players throughout your career, but I think I would like to know, who are some of the great players who are even greater off the field, like such as their personality or charity work, things they did off the field?
Oh, man, a lot of guys I played with. Willie Whitehead was a big guy that done a lot off the field. Joe Horn was another guy that you don't really hear a lot about doing things off the field, but he did so much. That was so crazy. A lot of guys do so much off the field that, don't even care about being recognized for it. They just do it because that's what they love doing. You know what I'm saying? They're always helping people regardless to what it is. So, I mean, that's the part that I like about a lot of the guys that I played with, because none of them was really looking for, those things. Aaron Brooks was another guy that did a lot of stuff off the field that people really don't know about. And, those are the things that, makes me feel good, being around those guys, off the field, doing their football camp, and, you know, the stuff that they actually do in the community and, you know, bringing things to the table. It's special. Even now today, guys that I know that's still doing things that play for the Saints, like Jermaine Bushrod. Those guys still do a lot of stuff in their community and, you know, stuff for the kids, football camps and all of that there, you know. That's the great part about, you know, the football world that a lot of people don't really get a chance to see. You know, you see the guys on Sundays, but really don't see them outside of football. If they're not in the community, in the New Orleans community or whatever, doing the little things when they're here. But, you know, the season only for so long. And then after the season is over with, those guys go back to their hometown and stuff. And they do a lot of things back where they're from as well. So, you know, that's just makes things special about those that do those type of things in the community.
Yeah, I love hearing those kinds of stories, not only about the greatness on the field, but the greatness off the field, too. It's something you embody. We talked about a lot on Saturday. For everybody watching at home, if you didn't see our Saturday episode, definitely go back and watch it. We had Beer Man Michael Lewis on live in studio sitting right here, and he was absolutely fantastic, and you were fantastic once again. We want to thank you again, Michael.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you every time you come on. Hopefully we can do it again sometime soon. We're going to go ahead and let you go. Before we let you go, though, one more question. Who's winning on Thursday, Saints or Cardinals?
Saints.
That's what I love to hear.
Good answer.
That's what I love to hear. Thanks, 84. Thanks, Beer Man. We love
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
You too. All right, everybody. That was Beer Man number 84, All-Pro, returner for the Saints, Michael Lewis. Good conversation both times he's been on.
Yeah, definitely. Such a good guy.
Such a good guy. He was great on the field, even better off of it. Super humble. Love talking to him. Like I said, if you haven't watched our Saturday episode yet, go back and watch that. He was awesome. Sitting live in studio in a white and black chair that is occupied by somebody else today, Mr. Lot Tober.
Hey guys, that's
How you
me.
doing, Lot?
Hey, I'm doing great, man.
Good to see you back in, man.
Look, I missed this chair. It's so comfy. I enjoy being here. I enjoy being with you guys.
Yeah, we had him on a couple weeks ago when baseball playoffs got started. So now that baseball playoffs are kind of in the swing of things, no pun intended.
You're terrible.
Thank you. We wanted to get you back on. So we're gonna get into baseball in a little bit.
Okay.
For now,
how'd you like talking to Beer Man himself?
I really like talking to him as a beer man myself. You know,
he's a cool guy.
Me.
He's awesome.
He's really cool. He's super well spoken. That was a great conversation. I feel pretty honored to be able to talk to a guy like that. So I'm pretty happy he was on.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. I hope we have him on as often as we can.
Yeah.
But, you know, we already touched on the Saints a little bit. Let's get into a team that we're all wearing some shirts representing today.
Big.
The Louisiana State University Tigers. LSU, baby. Big win on Saturday.
Let's go. Roar.
LSU won 45-35 against one of our most underrated rivals in the Florida Gators. Always a good game when we go to Gainesville.
Always.
Definitely.
However, I don't know how much you can call it a rivalry because we beat them 4 times in a row now. Whether it's because of throwing shoes or Joe Burrow just being a dog, or this game, another quarterback, Jaden Daniels.
Dog.
What a game from Jaden. Final stat line for Jaden Daniels, 23 for 32 with 349 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air, added 44 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. He just looked confident.
Yeah. I can't tell you how long I've been saying it.
Every episode.
I knew that once he was able to remain confident, it shows.
It clicked.
Yeah.
And you know what we've seen a lot in the past few games is Jaden Daniels and Brian Kelly kind of giving each other that eye on the sideline. They didn't look like they were getting along. This game, every time Jaden came off the field, they were high-fiving, they were laughing together. They looked like they were finally having fun. And, you know, I guess that's what happens when your quarterback plays damn good like Jaden did.
Right. Maybe those player meetings were worth something.
You know,
maybe things have kind of connected for this group.
Shout out to Rebo in the chat, gave us a stat, 500 all-time.
Yeah, they just tied it.
Tigers and Gators tied all-time, 500. Yeah, I mean, I guess that does qualify as a rivalry, Rebo. However, in the past 4 games, we've won them all, so let's keep that streak going.
Bang.
Not only through the passing game, but we also got the running game going in this game. 179 total rushing yards. John Emery looked good. Jaden Daniels looked good, but Josh Williams looked better. Josh Williams had a game. I don't know, and he wasn't the guy who was expected to be the number 1 running back or the number 2 running back, really. And he's come out of nowhere and really impressed me. I'm really happy with what I'm seeing out of number 27 on the backfield.
And you got to give credit to that O-line who's stepped up exponentially.
Absolutely.
Throughout
Good
these
word.
past few games. Thank you. Especially with the young talent we have on that O-line. I mean, 2 true freshman tackles starting in the SEC.
I know my boy Rebo loves him some Will Campbell. And good reason. Will Campbell's absolutely amazing. Played really, really well. Glad to have him back. He missed the last game because of some dehydration issues. And you could tell that he was missing. He was back this game, and you could tell he was back. I think that speaks volumes for a true freshman left tackle. Moving on from the offensive side of the ball to the defense. Defense looked good against the pass. Only allowed 185 yards and a touchdown against one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in Anthony Richardson. However, the run game on the defense, a little to be desired there. They allowed 210 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground. That's rough.
Yeah.
That is rough, especially from an LSU defense we've seen really, really impress us through the first half of the season.
Yeah, I think they came into this game kind of focusing on stopping the pass game, which they did a good job of. But I think they may have forgotten to touch on the run game that Florida has.
Look, the defense is fine, but that offense was so good. I'm willing to take a step back and let the defense have this one. It's a little mulligan. Get them next time, Tigers.
I mean, they got him.
I mean, they did get him.
They did get them, but I'm talking
hopefully
about the defense.
yeah.
The defense can take a step up next week because the offense, they did their job. They carried the defense, and it looked amazing.
Yeah, offense definitely showed up. Felt like for the first time in a very long time
Yeah.
that we've seen an offensive game like that from LSU.
Mm-hmm. And something we talked about specifically on that Saturday podcast because we had Beerman on was the 3 phases of the football game. It's offense, defense, and special teams. That's where he made his living, and that's where LSU is majorly struggling right now. Jack Besh, kickoff against the Tennessee game, muffs the opening kickoff. Tennessee gets the ball, scores a touchdown immediately. This game, first punt coming his way, drops it, and Florida gets the ball back. And Jack Besh is one of the best players on our team. Like, even with all this happening, he's still one of the best players on our team. We saw it last year when he was a freshman. He was damn good. And he's still very, very good at football. But something is going on the special team side of the ball that we cannot explain.
Maybe he got new gloves.
Maybe he got new gloves. Maybe he shouldn't be returning punts. That's my theory, is that you shouldn't put a guy who transitioned from tight end to wide receiver back returning punts when you have all-American wide receivers, running backs, and corners.
So, off the dome, who do you think should be returning punts?
So, in my opinion, we should...
Goodwin.
What?
Goodwin.
Goodwin?
Yes.
Goodwin's hurt right now. That's why he hasn't been playing. But I like the athleticism of Goodwin. I have no problem with him being back there. Malik Neighbors, we've seen struggle, so don't put him back there. Jack Besh, we've seen struggle. Don't put him back there. Maybe utilize a guy we don't see a lot in the actual offense itself. Jeray Jenkins. I love Jeray Jenkins. He's been here a long time, and we saw him catch a long touchdown pass on, I think it was like a 53-yard touchdown pass this past game against Florida on the right sideline. Looked awesome. Super athletic guy. Let him go back there and catch some punts. I think he's a guy who's underutilized on the offensive side of the ball, whether that's because we have Kayshon Boutte and Brian Thomas, who I'm both really big. I'm a big fan of both of those guys. I think he needs some more touches, so why not put him back there and let him try to return some? That's a good joke, Soundman.
Yeah,
Soundman said,
he's got a good point.
Soundman said
He
7
thinks
Banks.
he
His
should be
name alone just gets a 7. So
Banks could be returning punts.
I mean, when 7 Banks gets healthy, let's put him back there. Why not?
Got you.
His name is 7 for a reason.
I was going to say, I'm so high on Jaden Daniels right now.
No, don't stop.
Why not put him back there? He's quick. He's athletic. I'd like to see it.
You know, I mean, that is Jaden Daniels the next Taysom Hill? What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah, you sounds like you're making him into Taysom Hill.
Oh, I'm not making him into Taysom Hill. I'm making him the first Jaden Daniels.
Ooh, word.
Bang.
That's a good one.
But still, speaking on special teams, we only punted the ball once. It's nice when you don't have to see your punter all day.
Especially when special teams has been playing as bad as it has.
Yeah. And our kicker, 6 for 6 on extra points and a field goal. So, you know,
Can't ask for
the actual kicking of the ball was not the bad part. It was the returning of the kicking of the ball.
The blocking for the kicking of the ball.
Also that.
That has been a problem.
Yeah, so Brian Polian needs to figure it out. Needs to figure something out from his buddy Bill Polian, Hall of Fame GM. Maybe he can learn a thing or two, because Brian doesn't seem to be working out too well for us. So this Saturday, we got Ole Miss.
Ooh.
We're not going to get too much into it. We're going to get into that on the next episode. But first outlook, LSU's actually favored against the
What?
number 7 team in the country.
Really?
Spread's at -1.5 right now.
There's
for
a
LSU.
lot of teams coming up this next Saturday that are ranked lower than their opponent, but favored in the books.
And I guess it's because we're hot right now, and Ole Miss really hasn't had that convincing wins as a ranked team. I mean, you saw a couple weeks ago Kentucky should have beat them, and they didn't.
Yeah.
For a while there, Auburn looked like they were keeping it close against Ole Miss. So maybe we do win, but we're gonna give that on Thursday.
It should be a good game nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether LSU wins or Ole Miss wins, I think it'll be a great football game to watch.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I should be in the stadium watching it live, so I'm pretty excited.
Sheesh.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
I think that if our offense can continue to perform like that, I don't see us losing very many games left.
Nope. And that sucks for our boy Rebo, because he took the under on our wins. He can't afford for us to win another game for the rest of the season.
Maybe shouldn't bet
Even
against
though
the
we're
Tigers.
playing Ole Miss, UAB, Arkansas, and A&M. We're going to win at least one of those games, Rebo. I hate to tell you, bud.
We're going to win all 4.
What if we beat Bama?
That's a story for another day.
Bama's defense not looking good.
Shout out
Where-
to Tennessee.
Where are we playing Bama? Is it in Tiger Stadium?
In Death Valley, baby.
Bama's in trouble. Bama is in trouble.
Trust me, we'll get into that once the game gets around. But like I was saying, you know, Rebo's bets, not very good. And neither were our road dogs.
No.
Our road dogs were not very good. Rebo said, you get emotional after week 1 and bet 1 time. Well, you should have bet 0 times. But yeah, this is B&B's bets, my favorite segment that we do in this show. We had our road dogs last week. I had Jacksonville at Indianapolis. It was tied very late in the game. I was looking good. And then the Colts pulled it out. So mine didn't hit. And then you, sir, you bet on the Cowboys again.
They almost made it.
It looked good until the fourth quarter.
I stopped watching after that. I stopped watching that game after the first half because I was like, "That's it."
Yeah.
But they started coming back, trying to give you a chance.
Yeah. Well, when Cooper Rush is your quarterback, I feel like you're pretty limited. Even though the Cowboys have one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah.
But you know, I feel like they couldn't get it together.
The Eagles just Nick Sirianni's got a bunch of dogs.
Dogs. 15 wins.
They're on track.
So moving on from the NFL, the NBA starts tonight. First games of the season tonight in the NBA regular season. We've got Philly versus Boston, and we've got Los Angeles versus Golden State.
The Lakers, not the Clippers.
Correct. The Los Angeles Lakers, not the Clippers, to clarify. The worst of the Los Angeles teams.
Yeah.
So for one of our bets on this episode, we're going to give you an absolute lock for the NBA tonight in celebration of them starting.
I think Mr. Lottober should start us off here.
You want me to go first?
I would completely agree. Remember, this is absolute lock, will not lose.
Ooh. Okay. I'll go first. I am what one would call limited in my basketball knowledge. I just like to preface with that.
Let him preface.
Okay, I just like to preface with that. I don't know much about basketball. That being said, I have a major lock alert.
Major lock.
Major lock alert. I can guarantee you this is going to hit.
Guarantee, he says.
Jaylen Brown, 15 plus points. And you're like, man, what are the odds on that? It's minus 2,000. It's minus 2,000. I personally would not bet a penny on that bet, but I think it's going to hit. I'm not saying it's a good bet, but I think it's going to hit no matter what. If you're willing to put $2,000 to win 100, to win 100 on that, go ahead. Tell them Adam sent you.
I mean, it'd probably be better if you made that into like a parlay or something to bring the odds up a little bit instead of minus 2,000.
I mean, maybe, but we're giving locks.
And I mean, to be fair, I think Jaylen Brown is going to score 15 points. Like, it is a lock. However,
He might have it already.
I'm actually checking right now. Checking. Jaylen Brown has 7 points, and it's not even halftime.
Hello, halfway there. Well,
So,
maybe.
his 15 points does look like a lock. However, minus 2,000, you were making $0. So, there's that.
I like that bet.
Byron, what you got for your lock today, man?
For mine, you could pull that stat sheet back up.
Okay.
Because I have Joel Embiid over on his rebounds, which was 11.5
Well,
for plus 102.
so right now he's at 4,
Okay.
and they're only halfway through the second quarter.
Okay.
So math-wise, I think he should end up getting there.
That could definitely still get there, yeah.
Yeah,
It'll be close, but I think he can get it.
He'll probably get like 6 in each half, hit you at the 12, right over 11.5. You might be able to hit it. So for my absolute lock, it's less of an absolute lock, I would say. Like, it's not an absolute lock, but in my mind it is because I hate the Lakers this year. I've got the Warriors spread. The spread is currently at -7. You can get that at -110 on the odds. The Warriors just won the finals, and they're playing a depleted Lakers team that has LeBron, AD, and nobody else.
And Jordan Poole is pissed.
But LeBron.
So, for context, Adam Lott is the biggest LeBron fan I know, and I'm the biggest LeBron hater I know. So
let's
we
be
are
fair.
not going to agree.
So let's be fair. LeBron is going to put up 60 tonight.
No, absolutely not. I don't see him scoring over 25.
25?
Yeah.
That's the king.
Yeah, the king of not making the playoffs the past 2
Oh,
seasons.
come on.
What's up, Shawnee? Shawnee's in the chat saying OMG, Adam's back.
Hey, Sean, what's up, buddy? I miss you.
Yeah, Shawnee was one of our high school buds. So,
Our soundman has a lock for the NBA tonight, too.
oh, he does. Sound man.
What are we looking
He's
at?
got 2 separate ones. Don't put them together.
Okay, no, not a parlay.
He
Not a
said
parlay.
don't put them together, but there's 2 separate ones.
Okay.
He's got the Warriors also at -7.
Soundman's the best better I know, and I'm betting with him. Hello, money.
That makes you feel real good.
It makes me feel amazing.
He's also got Boston at -3.
Okay, so I'm conflicted on this because
You're
my
a Boston
second
fan.
favorite team is Boston. Boston was the team I fell in love with when I first started watching basketball.
When was that?
2008, the year they won the finals.
Makes sense.
They were the team that's on TV.
Continue.
KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, the guys. So I would love to see Boston win. They just lost in the finals, but I'd love them to see them win this year. However, my brain is telling me that the 76ers are going to win just because Celtics lost Ime Udoka, which I think was a huge part of them making the finals last year. He was a great coach. So, they're still a very, very talented team. If anything, they got better
Yeah.
with the addition of Malcolm Brogdon. They also added Danilo Gallinari, but he's literally not going to play this year because he tore his ACL. But they didn't lose anyone. So I
That's-
do
that's
like
the
the
key part
Celtics.
right
I
there.
do like the Celtics, but I think I like the 76ers a little bit more. Sorry, sound man. I do love you, but I have to disagree on that point.
Better say. I mean, you're saying they didn't lose anyone. They did lose somebody. It was their coach.
Well, yes, correct.
That's a pretty big player.
Yeah, no, a really good coach at that.
Yeah, the NBA this year, or in recent years, it's for teams, it's all about getting better without getting that much worse.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying. Winning trades, winning the draft. We've seen, middle 2010s, we saw the God squads that was the Warriors and the Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're kind of differentiating from that. and seeing a lot of teams make the playoffs and go on runs,
Yeah, I think there's a lot of parity in the NBA right now, and I really like that.
as is the NFL.
Yeah, the NFL's something else right now. Moving on from basketball into the reason we brought Lottober here,
Yankees win.
baseball.
Yeah.
So we're not going to get too deep into the baseball yet. We're just doing a baseball bet.
Okay.
We're going to get into
Teasing
baseball.
me.
We're going to get into baseball a little bit later. Right now, I just want to bet for tonight's game, the Padres taking on the Phillies. We're going to get into how they got here just a little bit later, but we all made, some bets for tonight's Padres versus Phillies game. B, why don't you start us off?
Gladly. I have someone who's been absolutely red hot
Red hat.
in the playoffs so far, in Manny Machado.
Okay.
He has been
Who is Manny Machado?
putting this Padres team on his back over there at third base. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. In the postseason, he has a 296 batting average
Pretty good.
with 27 at-bats,
Mhm.
8 hits,
Mhm.
2 doubles, and 2 home runs.
Not bad. That's 50% of his hits are extra base hits.
Yeah.
So can't complain about that.
I have him to get 2 hits tonight
Okay.
for plus 260.
Pretty good odds. I like that.
I see your Manny Machado. He's been great this postseason. And I raise you Bryce Harper.
I love that first name.
He's been insane. Let's talk about Bryce Harper's postseason so far.
Let's talk about
He's
it.
batting .435. That's first. He has 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, a 1.437 OPS. That's first. He has the most hits in the entire postseason right now. So he's on fire. He batted like 500 in the DS. So I'm taking Bryce Harper 2+ RBIs, and that's plus 550.
He is on fire right
Red
now.
hot.
If anyone
So-
could do it, it'd be him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's looking fantastic. On a Phillies team we did not expect to be here.
Yeah.
But we're going to
None
talk
of
about
us.
that. Trust me. So, I have this weird thing where I like to make absolutely absurd parlays, and they never hit. But I like to do it anyway, just because I find fun.
So those
So-
listening at home, do not bet what Bryce is about to say.
Please, yeah, for your own safety, don't do it. So I put together a 4-leg parlay. I need each of these guys to get a hit, one singular hit. That's all they need. The players are Kyle Schwarber,
What?
What?
Nick Castellanos,
What?
Manny Machado,
What?
and Jake Cronenworth.
What?
I think that's all very possible.
Oh, definitely.
I think would Mr. Lottober,
Yep.
would you venture to say that on their respective teams, all of these guys are a top 3 batter?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'd be willing to say that. Yes.
I think if you add in Bryce Harper to the Phillies, that would round out the Phillies' top 3 with Schwarber, Castellanos, and Harper. And then Cronenworth, Machado, and Juan Soto hasn't looked great this season.
But he's there.
But he's
You
he's
still
really
have
good.
to put his
Yeah.
name in there just for his on base.
Yeah. So if you bet all 4 of those in a parlay to each get a hit, it was at plus 400 earlier. I just checked and it's actually at plus 450 now. So Kyle
Even better.
Schwarber, Nick Castellanos, Jake Cronenworth, Manny Machado all to record a hit tonight plus 450.
That's because they've gone an inning and a half, and no one has a hit.
Okay. Well,
Wait, no,
hey,
they've gone an inning and a half.
still could happen. And then one last bet. We have a Sound Man Thursday Night Football parlay.
Oh yeah. He
What
he made
he
a little
said,
parlay for this Saints Cardinals matchup on Thursday night.
which we will talk about on our Thursday episode.
He took the Saints money line
Mhm.
and the over, which is at 44.5, for plus 282.
I like those odds, and I like both of those bets.
Yeah.
Saints offense has shown they can put up more points than they did at the beginning of the season. Cardinals offense is always good for 20-plus points. If it ends up being like 27-23, that easily hits the over, and I like the Saints. So,
One thing worth noting.
Mhm.
So, the previous few Thursday night games have been rather lackluster in the scoring category.
Mhm.
We've seen kind of that trending so far. Also, the Cardinals will be reacquiring DeAndre Hopkins this week.
Very true. And they also just traded for Robbie Anderson as well. But Marquise Brown is out for the year.
Who?
Marquise Brown.
Hollywood.
There we go.
That was good.
Look, I think that's a good parlay. I don't know if I love the over, but hey, more power to you.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, I think that's a good bet, Soundman. Soundman's got a parlay and 2 other bets for tonight, and I don't mind any of them.
Yeah.
And in my brain, that means good.
Put money on it then.
Anyway, so we talked about basketball a little bit. Let's get into some more basketball. If you listen to our episode this past Friday with our buddy Rebo, he talked about a lot of basketball. We talked a lot of basketball with our buddy Rebo because he's our resident basketball guy. But I want to get strictly into the Pelicans. Pelicans have their first regular season game tomorrow. They're going to Brooklyn to face the Nets, which one of the most dynamic teams in the NBA. They've got KD, Kyrie, Ben Simmons. So, you got to be ready for it. Pels are starting as 3-point underdogs. So, we might see that line move just a little bit between now and the time of tip-off. But
Depending on if Kyrie wants to play or not.
yeah, Kyrie doesn't know that the earth is round yet. So we don't know what Kyrie's thinking. But I think the biggest point to talk about for the Pelicans is we have a healthy starting 5.
Yeah.
Our
First time
starting,
in a while.
Yeah, our starting 5 is good to go. Zion didn't play all of last year. They asked him today. They were like, "How are you feeling?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm playing Wednesday, by the way." Like, what are we even
After he drew
what are we
his
even
Pelican.
talking about? Oh, that video was good. If you haven't seen it yet, Pelicans posted a video on social media of the team drawing Pelicans. Good thing they're good at basketball because they are not artists. But yeah, CJ, BI, Herb, Zion, Valanciunas, all healthy, all ready to go. Tomorrow night, starting 5. I'm excited, man.
Me too.
How are we feeling about these Pelicans, Lot?
Look, like I said, I'm not a basketball guy, but I am a New Orleans guy.
Yes, sir.
And I love me some Pelicans. So I'm saying I love the Pelicans tomorrow against these Nets. I think Zion is going to be in a position finally to command a good team. And I think that he is going to thrive off of that. We're in slim Zion season.
Best shape he's ever been in.
Dude, so I think he's going to ball out this year. I think this is going to be the best season of his career so far.
Yeah. And that's saying a lot because the one year that he was healthy and played over 50 games, he averaged 26.8 points, double-digit rebounds on like 62% shooting from the field. So he was
Yeah.
I mean, he made the All-Star game. Like he was very, very good the one year he was healthy. So, we might see that same Zion come back, and he might be even better, like you were saying.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
This is the best team he's had around him for sure.
Yeah, I
'Cause-
think like it's just something to be really excited about. I mean, these guys, this group of guys, just look like they love each other, and I
Yeah.
think that they're going to work great as a team.
And it kind of speaking of that, it may be biased, but I think of every NBA team I see on social media, on ESPN, Fox, CBS, whatever the case may be, it looks like the Pelicans have the most chemistry out of almost any NBA team.
It also, in my eyes, I think they have the best roster 1 to 14. The most solid.
They're deep, man. They are deep. When Larry Nance is like your 8th best player, pretty good.
Don't act like you weren't trash talking Larry Nance last year.
I trash talked him after one game because he played a bad game.
Okay, fair enough.
You're allowed to play one bad game, and I'm allowed to trash talk you for doing it. But
I want to see this in writing.
anyway, yeah, we all think the Pels are going to be really good this year. Byron took the over on their wins. I took the over on their wins. Reese took the over on their wins. Would you take the over on their wins?
How many are there? How many wins are there?
45 and a half.
Oh yeah, I'm taking the over on that.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah. We had the Pels as 3 and 4 seeds between the three of us. We all have them at either 3 or 4.
Yeah, either them or the Nuggets.
Either them or the Nuggets between 3 or 4. Where would you put the Pels in the seeding, you think? Just off the dome.
If you will, perchance.
You know, I don't know. What division are they in? West?
The West.
They're in the Western Conference Southwest Division.
Okay.
So our division also includes the Grizzlies, the Mavericks, the Spurs, and the Rockets.
They'll win that division.
I agree.
They'll win that division. Easy.
Which hopefully would put us hopefully within the top 6 seeds. Don't have to worry about the play-in.
Those Grizzlies are okay.
Mm-hmm.
Those Mavs, I love my Mavs, but like they're okay. All they have is Luka,
Yeah, they're not as deep as the Pels for sure.
and everyone else is absolutely worse than this Pelicans team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams this year will have like 2 to 4 like real guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Pelicans have an entire starting lineup of guys.
Yeah, agreed. And then they have some guys on the bench who could start for
who
plenty
are
of other
also
teams.
guys.
Larry Nance could. Jose at this point probably could. With the step I expect my favorite player in the Pelicans, Trey Murphy, to make, probably could start on some younger teams as well. So I'm expecting a lot out of these Pelicans, and I'm expecting a lot out of them tomorrow night. At first, I was kind of iffy who's going to win, the Nets or the Pels, the Nets or the Pels. I'm not picking against my Pels. I think the Pels are going to come out, make a statement, and beat Brooklyn game 1.
That's bold.
Y'all got me hyped for some Pelicans, man.
Who's going to win tomorrow night, Byron?
Pelicans.
Oh, the Pelicans.
That's what I like to hear. Drop it in the chat who you think is going to win, and drop your thoughts about the Pels as well. I know Rebo's in here. He's going to tell us something. He's probably going to take like the under on their wins because he's like, I don't know if they can get that many. Yeah, LSU Tigers, baby. Soundman said flock up. I don't know if that's our saying, but hey, flock up anyway.
Could be. It could be.
Won't bow down.
Let's say it, man. Flock up, huh? Flock up.
Gerald says Pelicans too. Thank you, Gerald.
Waka flock up.
Waka flock up. Okay. But anyway, the moment we've all been waiting for. The reason we brought Mr. Lottober on.
Baseball.
You got to turn it up. No, the other one, but it's muted.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there. This is going to be great. This is going to be great. This is going to be great.
Oh! That is amazing.
That was the biggest build-up for the most disappointing. Anyway, yeah, it's time for some baseball talk. Mr. Lottober, walk us through what we've seen so far.
Okay. Look, we are still in October, folks, and baseball has been baseballing. So we had these Phillies. They upset the Cardinals. They swept them in the wild card round. And then the Padres, they upset the Mets 2-1. And then the Mariners upset the Blue Jays. They swept them too. So in those 3 games, 3 of the 4 wild card series were upsets. The Dogs won. It did not look good for my picks.
What? Can you, so, in case you didn't watch the episode, we did have Mr. Lottober on a couple weeks ago. We all made our entire picks for the entire bracket of the World Series. So, strictly on the wild card round, Lot, how did you fare?
0 for 4.
Mr. Baseball, baby.
I had the Cardinals winning. I had the Mets winning. I had the Blue Jays winning. And even the Guardians, who beat those Rays, I had the Rays winning. It was the only dog that I picked, and it was the only one that didn't work.
win.
Yeah.
That's so upsetting.
But those Guardians are awesome. They just got kicked out earlier today, about an hour ago, actually. But they had a great season. I was glad to see them put it to those Yankees, make them work, and put it to those Rays.
Yeah, they definitely made them sweat out that series.
They brought the Yankees to 5 games.
How are your both of your picks working out?
So my wild card round, I went 2 for 2, which was the best record out of all of us because Byron went 1 for 3. But so your World Series teams, one of them is still in, right?
Yes.
So your World Series teams, one of them are still in, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Awkward situation. Both of mine are gone. So
Who were yours again?
I had the Blue Jays making it out of the
You had
AL.
the Blue Jays winning it all.
I had the Blue Jays winning everything, and they got swept in the first round after blowing an 8-1 6th-inning lead. So that kind of stinks. And then I had the Braves making it out of the NL, and they just got bounced by the Phillies. So long-term wise, I look terrible. But if we're looking just at Wild Card Weekend,
You liking that soundboard right now?
Soundboard's
huh?
killing it right now.
An idiot.
I know.
But yeah, those that was our wild card, and the DS also happened while I was away. You blinked and you missed it. I'm back, and I'm talking about the Division Series, where the Braves, the defending World Series champions, couldn't handle the Phillies. These Phillies are just dogs, dude. Like, they hit. That's what they do. They hit so good. And, like, in one of these series, they just out-hit the Braves. I think it was, like, 8-7 or something like that.
They got a lot of fight in them.
Yeah, like, it is crazy how deep their lineup is, and their pitching holds up. So it was weird to see the Braves, who I considered, one of the best teams, to go down like that. But I can't say that I'm too shocked, because these Phillies, I mean, they're great.
They're hot, man. I would like to interrupt our regular scheduled program to update a bet. So Lot had the lock, Jaylen Brown, 15 points for -2,000. Jaylen Brown currently has 18 points at halftime.
Yes,
It is only halftime, and he has 18 points.
I told you it was a major lock of the year.
Lock of the
What's
year.
Embiid's
It
rebounds
actually,
looking like?
he's got 6, so he's halfway there at halftime.
Oh, let's go.
Right on track.
So that's looking good for you guys.
All right, and then we can move on to the Astros. Those Astros, they swept the Mariners in a whole bunch of crazy games. The first series, the first
Three
game,
close games.
yes, the first game, the Astros won 8-7, so that was a little slugfest. Robbie
An
Ray,
amazing comeback.
yeah, Robbie Ray, he took the loss because Jordan walked him off.
Your daddy.
Yeah, Jordan, he was my preseason MVP pick, but Aaron Judge has gone crazy, so he's not going to win it. But I like that he had a great season. Jordan walked him off. They won the second one 4-2, and they won the last one 1-0 in 18 innings. They played 2 full baseball games to get that one done.
Fun
Score
fact.
1 run.
Fun fact. When the LSU Florida game started, the Astros game was in the 3rd inning. The LSU game ended before the Astros game did.
Wow, that's crazy.
That blew my mind because I saw a Twitter poll that was like, which game's going to end first, the LSU game or the Astros game? And everyone was like, obviously the Astros game. Wrong.
I was privileged to watch all 18 innings. It was great pitching, but it was Jeremy Pena, young gun for the Astros, that hit a home run top of the 18th. Little fun fact for my buddy Bryce. He's a giant Red Sox fan, right?
Love the Red Sox, baby.
Jordan with
Dirty
his
water.
he hit a walk-off in game 1, and in game 2 he hit the go-ahead home run. And that I believe, I haven't confirmed this, but that ties David Ortiz for go-ahead home runs in a postseason.
It does. It does.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
just because he tie don't mean he going to break it. David Ortiz is Big Poppy for a reason. David Ortiz is the first Battle Hall of Famer.
Oh,
Red Sox
he
bias.
probably will be.
Red Sox bias.
I don't know if I agree, but he probably will be. Did you guys have any thoughts on these Astros?
I think they are the best team currently still alive in these playoffs from offense to defense.
Yeah, I mean that's completely fair. I mean, their pitching is insane, and they've been hitting at a really healthy clip. So I think they're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, and I think when you see a game that goes 18 innings, you would assume your ace was on the mound to start it, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't the case for the Astros. Justin Verlander did not.
Nope.
Did not start off on the bump. So I think that's really impressive by them. But the Mariners played them close every game. So what that tells me is the Astros, they have some weak points. It's not like they're, this indestructible team. I think they're beatable. And we'll get into it at the end of this, who we actually think is going to win it all now that we've gone through some stuff. But I don't know if I have the Astros to do it.
I think it says a lot that any team can lose in baseball just by looking at the results of the wild card round.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd like to say I know a lot about baseball. I picked all of the favorites. except for the Rays, but like they were kind of favorited. And I went 0 for 4. Like I got them all wrong, and so like I think baseball is unpredictable in that way. And every team has weak points, and every team can lose. Mm-hmm. We can move on to these Padres, the Padres and the Dodgers. Padres beat those Dodgers, the 111 win Dodgers. That's the second most wins in Dodgers history, I think.
Wow.
Like that's a lot.
That is a lot of wins.
And it went like this. Los Angeles won the first game, and then they lost 3 in a row. Like, they kind of got swept.
A gentleman's sweep.
Yeah.
Let you have one.
The offense just couldn't connect for the Dodgers here. They in the last game, LA was up 3-0. So like the pitchers were putting it on, but the Padres put up a 5 spot in the 7th, like behind Byron's Manny Machado.
Shout out Manny.
Manny Machado has been insane. Jake Cronenworth has been insane. He's batting over 400 he batted over 400 in the CS. So the Padres won that one, and it's a big hit to these Dodgers who probably should have won the World Series this year. When you win 111 games, you expect to win the World Series, and they couldn't get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I kind of mentioned it on the last time you were on, and I said the Dodgers kind of reminded me of last year's Giants, where they're going to win the most regular season games, and then something's going to happen in the playoffs where they're going to meet a match that they haven't seen yet, and they're not going to be able to make it. I thought it was going to be the Braves, personally, but it turns out it was the Padres.
The Padres, who they've owned all season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I saw a stat. It was the first time that a team faced a division rival in the playoffs who they had beaten every series in the regular season and then lost in the playoffs. I know that's a lot to follow, but if you think about it in NFL terms, it would be as if we swept the Buccaneers in the regular season and then lost in the playoffs.
Oh, imagine that happening.
Which we did. So it basically the same thing happened between the Dodgers and the Padres.
Can't beat Tom Brady 3 times in one season.
Can I give you guys a little fun fact off the dome?
I love fun facts.
I don't have this written down. I just know it.
Know it.
The last time that the Padres were in the NLDS was, well, hang on, that's not right. But it was the last time that the Padres were in contention for something. I don't know, but it was 2006. It was 2006. That's the important factor. You know who's batting leadoff for that Padres team? Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers. And in the year of our Lord, 2022, the Padres send the Dodgers, managed by Dave Roberts, home.
That's romantic.
You
How do
can't
you know
write
this?
that. You can't
That's
write
romantic.
that. You can't write that. That's scripted.
Gotta love baseball. Just like
Gotta
you gotta
love
love New Orleans.
baseball. What goes around comes around. Speaking of comes around, let's talk about this.
Oh, you want to hear an update?
Oh, yeah.
For the Phillies-Padres game, it is currently the top of the 3rd, 2 outs. Kyle Schwarber drives one in the right field for a single.
That is the first leg of my parlay. Don't bet Bryce's parlay.
Is that the only hit so far?
Shut up.
Yes,
All
it is.
right. Like you were saying, Lot, let's move on to the NLCS, man.
The ALDS.
Oh, ALDS.
Yeah, we
okay.
can talk about this Cleveland Yankees series a little bit. Cleveland put up a great fight. I mean, the Yankees were always supposed to win this, but Cleveland they tugged on my heartstrings. Oscar Gonzalez walk off, and he hit a few go ahead hits. Like it was jumping in Cleveland. It was nice to see. Sadly, though, the big bad Yankees playing the villain like they always do had to beat them earlier today. Savali, he just got lit up early, and Nestor, he pitched pretty well. Aaron Judge, their golden child, and Giancarlo Stanton, they're 2 big power guys, both homered. So I want to use this just to say respect to my Guardians. They were my long shots to win the World Series, but you know what goes around comes around. I've said that twice now. I just want to say respect to them and congrats on a great season. It's the first season in Guardians history, like after the name change. So like I think that's great. I think that's a great first step. I think they have a really low payroll, and if they ever decide to make a push towards somebody, they can afford it. So I'm pretty excited about their future.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm like I said on the last time you were on, I probably know the least amount baseball here, and I don't see. I like the Guardians, man. I enjoyed watching them. I enjoy their story. This season, they weren't expected really. I don't think they were expected to, make it this far, and especially bring the Yankees to this many games.
No,
So-
they were projected, I think, to finish third in the AL Central, and they ended up winning it.
Yeah, so
Like they had the White Sox and the Twins finishing above them.
yeah, I really liked the White Sox this season, but we see how that turned out.
White Sox were so. What do the
Mid.
kids say? Mid.
Yeah, very
Mid. They were so mid.
Oh, Sound Man's making me want to throw up.
What's he saying?
He said, "Go Yanks! We are building a new trophy case. The old one is full."
Ew, that's
Yeah,
nasty.
too bad it hasn't been filled since 2009, loser.
Sheesh, you know a little bit of baseball knowledge.
Well, yeah, when my team's the
When
Red
he's the
Sox
Red
and I can
Sox.
rub
Oh,
it in the
yeah.
Yankees'
Oh,
face
yeah.
that we've won 2 World Series since the last time they've been to one.
That's fair.
So, anyway,
Let's move on to the CS. We keep talking about the Padres and the Phillies. We made our bets on the Padres and Phillies, and nobody here had the Phillies or the Padres going this far.
nope.
Except Reese.
Except
Reese
Shout
was
out Reese,
Padres all
Padres
the way.
fan.
Yeah. Well, what I'll say is that I think that these Phillies are gonna win.
Red hot.
I think these Phillies are gonna beat the Padres in this series.
Soundman has a question for you.
What's
up?
he saying?
He said, how many do those scumbag Red Sox have?
We don't need to look beyond this, past 2 decades, really. The Yankees are the same thing as the Cowboys, so he's basically admitting to be a Cowboys fan right now.
I think he's going to come in here and stab you.
He might as well, because the Red Sox won one in 2013, won one in 2018, and the Yankees haven't even been to one since, 2011? So,
he said he's coming in.
yeah, I dare you. I dare you.
But yeah, you're talking about these Red Sox. Think about their 21st century success if you want something to hang on to. I mean, they won in 04,
04,
they won in 07,
07,
they won in
13,
2013, and won in
and 18.
2018. I mean, that's 4 championships in 20 years.
I'm spoiled.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm spoiled.
My Nationals got one. Your
My Cubs
Cubbies
got
got
one.
one. Yeah, so
Cubs,
we're
Red Sox, Nats.
yeah, we're all kind of
We've all gotten one more recently than the Yankees.
yeah, we're all kind of
Very
in
much recently.
in a period where we're kind of taking a step back. We're not calling for any major changes yet. But let's go to the CS. Let's talk about the Padres. Let's talk about the Phillies. Like I said, these Phillies can mash. I have them beating the Padres in this series. They have a chip on their shoulder, dude. I wrote here, it's almost like they saw everyone talking about the Mets and the Braves in the NL East, and it was that competition all year long. And they were like, hold on. We can ball too. And they're proving that Philly, the city, loves an underdog story. I mean, just look at the Super Bowl that they won a few years back. That was literally
That was their
motto.
that was their whole, shtick.
Yeah. Who was it? It was Jake Long that put on the dog head, and that was like a famous photo. I mean, let's talk about Rocky. Rocky's
Balboa?
yes, that's the biggest underdog story ever. So Philly loves underdogs, and they are hype about it. The players are hype about it, and I think that they're gonna mash. They're gonna mash.
They're going to mash, huh?
They're gonna out hit these Padres. Yeah.
My favorite storyline from this Phillies-Padres matchup is the Nola brothers, because their last names are Nola, and they both went to LSU.
Yeah.
So that's 2 connections to Louisiana in a way. So the Nola brothers playing off against each other. Austin Nola versus Aaron Nola, pitcher and catcher on their respective sides. So love to see it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good series. I think both these teams have some hot bats right now.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
So I'm looking for some slugfests.
What about the
even though the game so far, bottom of the third, still 1 hit, and it's for the Phillies.
That's typically how those slugfest shootout type games always go.
Tells you how much we know.
That
But,
just tells you how predictable baseball is, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on from the NL. What are we thinking in the AL lot?
The AL, we got a rematch from 2019 and 2017. We have the Yankees and the Astros. Look, I don't know who's going to win this. honestly. I think probably the Astros might. I think they have the better team on paper. Like Byron said, they're probably the best team left. But I don't want the Astros to win this. I've seen the Astros in the World Series for how many years? I mean, I saw them in
3 out of the last 5
yeah, I mean 2021, 2019,
and 2017.
2017. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I'm sick of seeing them. I really don't want to see them in this World Series. So I'm taking the Yankees.
Okay. I mean, it's a good reason. That's about all the logic you can use in baseball right now. Is I don't want to see them, so I don't. I'm not going to put them there.
So you're taking,
You can't even use statistics.
You're taking Yankees Phillies World Series.
Yes.
Who wins?
Look, I have written here, if the Phillies take the Yankees to the World Series, or either they take the Astros to the World Series, if the Yankees or Astros win and make it to the World Series, I'm still taking the Phillies, no matter what. No matter what. These Phillies are dogs. They're going to beat the Padres. They're going to run in to the Bronx. They're going to run into the Bronx. They're going to run into Minute Maid. They're going to do whatever they want, and they are going to take them down. The Phillies are due. They haven't won since '08. They're hungry. Philadelphia, let's go.
Hey, I am not a Phillies fan by any means, but I really hope they win just because of what you just did.
The run.
I am so hyped up for the Phillies right now.
Let's hear your guys' picks.
That being said, I have the Padres winning.
Yeah, I do too.
I have the Padres beating the Phillies for 2 reasons. One, I think I like the Padres more just in general. I know more of their players, and I like more of their players. 2, Rebo is a Padres fan, and that is the last fandom we have left in these playoffs. So,
But your Eagles.
I'm gonna.
Your Eagles.
My
You're going to pick
Eagles.
against your
I
Eagles?
do like the
You're not
Philadelphia
picking against
Eagles.
The Eagles. You're
Only
picking against the
undefeated,
Phillies.
only undefeated team left in the NFL. But this is the MLB, my boy.
Yes.
This is
Okay.
the MLB,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go with my boy Rebo. He's the only one with a
A team left.
a team left. So I'm gonna go with Rebo, and I'm gonna say the Padres take the Phillies. What are you thinking on the NL side?
I'm gonna let you finish your.
You're gonna let me finish mine?
Yeah.
The whole
I didn't
thing.
want you to do that. I was trying to get them to think.
Yankees, Astros. Who you like?
I hate both of them. My 2 least favorite teams
Which one
in
do
the
you
MLB.
hate? Which one do you hate less?
I hate the Astros less, just because I'm a Red Sox fan. It is in my blood to hate the Yankees. Therefore, I am taking the Yankees to beat the Astros.
I knew it.
I hate the Yankees. I despise them.
Perfect. I love this.
I despise the Yankees. However, I have them making it to the World Series, and I have them.
Are you about to say what I think you're about to say?
Bryce,
A Red Sox.
the Red Sox fan,
is about
has
to
the
make a
Yankees
statement.
losing in the World Series. I have the Padres winning it all. Why? Because
Whoa.
I'm a Red Sox fan, and nothing would make me happier than to see the Bronx sold out. Game 7 of the World Series. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. And I see Manny Machado come up to bat. Out of the park. Kills every Yankees fan across America. They cry for eternity, and they don't get a new trophy case. Sorry, sound man. Padres World Series winners.
Okay.
So you went from the AL number 4 seed winning it in the Blue Jays.
Yep.
To the NL 5 seed.
Welcome to baseball, my boy.
I mean, to be fair, I have this NL 6 seed winning it.
Who you got over there, B?
So, like we said, got to have some parity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also taking the Padres to win this game,
Nice.
advance to the World Series. I think the Phillies are kind of comparable to the NFL football giants so far in this postseason. Fake good.
Fake good.
Fake good.
Lot is starstruck right now. Stunned. Absolutely obliterated.
But they're hot.
So
They're
are the,
red hot.
so are the Padres.
I mean, I guess.
So
I'd call the Padres fake good.
Wow.
Fair.
Is anything fake in baseball?
Everything is fake in baseball.
That's what I thought.
So I got the Padres advancing to the World Series. You're welcome, Reese.
Here's
y'all
the big
both,
one.
Y'all both took the Yankees. Got to take the Astros. I got to stick with my original World Series winner, too, in that the Astros will beat the Padres in the World Series.
Okay. So we all
6 games.
we all three have different winners of the World Series.
All right.
Again, last time we were on here, we all three had different. This time we all three have different. So, you know. So there's 4 teams left, and we have 3 different winners.
Yep.
Who's to say that the fourth
Phillies-
team?
oh,
no,
no.
The Yankees are definitely going to win it because
Yankees,
none of
yeah.
us picked them.
No one's gonna pick the Yankees, dude. They're the villains.
Soundman will pick the Yankees.
The only real thing in baseball is that the Red Sox and Astros are both cheaters. Yeah, and the Yankees aren't. Okay, Garrett Cole,
Let me step back for a second.
step back.
The nature the nature of baseball, it is impossible to predict. We've shown that. I honestly think it's impossible to predict who's going to win these games. I think they're all kind of even
Yeah,
in a way. So I don't know who's going to win. Those are my picks, but I don't know who's going to win. I'm going to say that these are going to be some good
I'm just
baseball
excited
games.
to watch good baseball.
Yeah, that's going to be hype. Like this Yankees Astros series is going to have a lot of bad blood in it, and these Padres and Phillies are both hungry. They haven't won a world. The Padres haven't won a World Series, and the Phillies haven't won in over a decade. So I think it's going to be super exciting.
I'm going to have to
Either
interrupt
way.
you real quick. Breaking news. Bryce Harper, deep fly ball to left field,
How many runs? How many runs?
and it's gone.
How many runs? How many RBIs?
Shawnee, can we get it in the chat?
Just a solo shot.
Oh,
Solo shot?
Okay.
Solo shot.
There's one RBI.
There's one RBI. we're inching closer and closer.
Did you have Harper for a hit?
No, I had
course you
Schwartz and
didn't.
Castellanos. My favorite MLB player, Nick Castellanos.
Is that right?
Yeah, there's a drive into deep left field by Castellanos. It'll be a home run.
Good old Tom Brenneman.
Well, yeah, this has been a fun episode, man. I had a great time.
Yeah,
We've
me
been all
too.
over the place. We talked to Beer Man Michael Lewis in the first 15 minutes. Another great conversation with him after Saturday's conversation.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched that Saturday episode, go back and check it out.
And keep
And-
sticking around. Maybe he'll be back in the future.
Definitely. And if you missed the first part, come back and listen to him again. He's a great guy on the field, off the field. We absolutely love him. Another guy we absolutely love is sitting in between us right now, Mr. Lottober. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
These are my guys. I am so happy to be here. I was so happy to be here. I love coming on this podcast. It lets me talk about baseball on the line, on the web. So I'm pretty hype about it. These are my friends. These are my buddies. And I had a great time, boys.
You had a good time over there, B?
I always have a good time.
Yes, sir. This was a great one. Talked some NFL, some college, some basketball, some baseball. We did it all tonight, boys.
All over the place. Want to talk a little about hockey?
No.
Not yet.
My Kraken have lost 2 in a row.
I doubt we'll ever get into hockey on this podcast, but next time you come on, maybe we'll talk about it for you.
No, I don't know anything about hockey.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie.
But,
I picked the Kraken.
Okay.
That's my team. That's all I know.
This will not be the last time you see Lot on here.
Definitely not.
He will definitely be on probably when the World Series comes around, so we can talk about some more baseball then. Until then, we have another episode on Thursday. Thursday we'll be coming to you at 7. Right now, it's looking like we may not have a guest for the first time in 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
We've had a guest every episode, but that may change.
Wait. We don't have an episode Thursday. No, it's Friday.
It's Friday?
Yes.
Oh, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen,
working nights.
Off the dome.
it is on Friday, not Thursday. So Friday, we will be having another episode where we'll be recapping the Thursday night football game between the Saints and the Cardinals. And we'll be talking about some more basketball, maybe some more baseball. We'll be getting all around.
Hockey.
No. So
Shawnee wants hockey.
Shawnee does want hockey. Shawnee, maybe we'll have you talk about
Yes.
some hockey sometime.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Name drop. But anyway, yeah, everybody watching, we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching us. Just a bunch of goofballs talking about sports because we love it. So thank you for watching us, whether you're on Radio House Studios watching us live, Facebook, YouTube, If not, newrockradio.us. We appreciate you so much, whether you're tuning in on New Rock Radio, watching us on Radio House. We thank you. We appreciate you. We appreciate our buddy Locke coming on. We appreciate Beer Man Michael Lewis for stopping by once again. Thank you to everybody at home. We'll see you next time.